This eighth wave that we're on right now is genius generation. If we have robots taking over jobs, we have the singularity appearing, where does that leave us as humans? It means that we have to actually raise our own consciousness to a high level and be thinking as investors, is our money going to things that are actually going to make the difference? We ourselves, in terms of the different techs, are focused 100% on ed tech, right? As you know, ed tech is where we see the biggest future. It's where I see the biggest future for myself, and it's what my passion is. So we look at everyone that's tracking things on the education side. What you're seeing here, education in 2030, the $10 trillion question, comes from a company called Holland IQ. Education in 2030, $10 trillion question is where they go through the size of the market, which is $10 trillion market. And then it also then goes through the full report. And they already had fully predicted where we'll be by 2030 based on all of their research. And it really broke into 5 different areas. The first one is that there will be a falling trend for education as usual, where the old universities, old schools will all be collapsing. There'd be a regional rising where everything will be start to get localized, but localized with technology. There's global giants where you're going to have companies that are actually then sponsoring and linking to brand new ways of growing technology, edtech. There'll be peer-to-peer, which will be very, very much around basically every teacher being able to be just like a YouTuber, where they can go out with their information and it will be built into curriculum versus just being stuck on YouTube. And the Robo Revolution allows everyone to have their own virtual assistant. So everything that you see us doing on Genius U is not, again, a guess. It's actually coming from looking at the research about where we're heading in the future and then plotting a course to it as to where we're going to go. We designed also a curriculum plan. That's what you're experiencing right now by being part of the summit, where we actually took the whole problem, which is the fact that we need a whole new way of learning, and the fact there hasn't been any new system for like 50 years. Like International Baccalaureate, which was 1968, was the last time a new system was created. And so we basically are saying, well, it's time for a new system, and we're going to be bold enough to be the ones that create it. The World Economic Forum put together the 8 elements of what's required in a new system: global citizenship skills, personalized self-paced learning, interpersonal skills, lifelong learning, innovation, creativity, technology skills. What's really interesting about when they put this together is we ourselves had actually put down something of all 8 things we believed we should be teaching, which were actually exactly the same 8 things. And we did this 3 years before they came out with their report. And our entire design has been around this as we've been building our system as well. And this goes all the way through from 0 through to 100 years old. And we're right now in this part here, where most of you here are at adult level, and you're looking at how you actually go through the different levels of awareness or consciousness when it comes to investing and entrepreneurship as well. The last thing I want to say in this is that we actually also had 10 things which make us different from other systems, what we want to develop on Genius U, right? First of all, that is personalized instead of standardized, which means that everyone can have their own AI genie. It's life skills instead of academic skills, right? So we're here to learn about how to actually invest better, how to actually live our lives better, not just how do we actually pass history. It's about lifelong learning, which means all through our lives, as opposed to age level learning. Global instead of local. We're obviously a very global classroom right here. And this one is the one that I find best, challenge-based instead of exam-based. The people we're about to share with you who actually are in for the running for the top winner of the best plan, this is a challenge. Just like football or just like basketball, like, you know, the ones that actually rise to the challenge become an example to everybody. And then you can learn from them as well, as opposed to exam-based, where you never get to see other people's results and you don't ever really know how to improve unless you go out and get extra tuition. On this one here, you get inspired by the actual finals itself because of the fact that you could win it, but also you can learn from it regardless, even if you won or not, right? So the challenge-based side is about the fact we're always giving out awards, we're always giving out prizes, and it's fully inclusive with everyone, high tech, high touch, instead of being exclusive where you got to go to a particular school, decentralized where anyone, anywhere can be a part of it instead of centralized, and leading learners instead of teaching teachers. And the 2 most important ones is impact focus. We're always looking for people that actually are making an impact rather than just information focused. And at the same time, whereas most people leave university and they end up with huge student debt, we are creating gems where everyone earns these cryptocurrency credits, which actually can then be spent, which means you end up with a credit when you leave every class. You don't end up with a debt. And this, I think, was one of the most powerful concepts, which is a whole new paradigm shift for education as well. So we do have right now our Investor 5.0 Micro School winners. We're going to come to each of them to kind of just go through their experience for a bit. I'm going to start with Cliff here. You can also see here, because we went through this yesterday and we actually got some feedback from both Mark and Marcus on the different plans, exactly what Cliff has put together for his vision and for his plan. So Cliff, I'd love for you to just share the experience you've gone through this in terms of what's the kind of main takeaways and how you're feeling now moving forward.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting journey because before going on the investor school, the only investing I had done was commercial properties. I bought some Bitcoin some years ago and just did nothing with it. I've never bought shares. And I've always told people, if you're investing or trading in Bitcoin, it's gambling. And as you know, I come from the casino industry. So that was a huge wake up for me, was having a diversified platform, which, and Mark taking us through the pyramid. I just started immediately.
And we're going to go through this afternoon as well, that how the blockchain is going to transform property. I mean, like, look what happened when share trading digitized back in the 1990s, in the 2000s, when before that you had to go to a broker on an exchange. And if you're in South Africa, you couldn't invest in New York. And then boom, like suddenly when everything became fractionalized and then IPOs took off and everything changed and you could actually just buy a piece of a business. That's going to happen to property in the next 5 to 10 years. And when that happens, the property market's massively bigger than the entire, share market, right? So given that you are in property and now you're learning it, you're going to see all that, because that hasn't even started at anything like the level. It's at 0.00001% of where it's going to be. It's very, very exciting. And Cliff is in South Africa. Fatima is in Australia. So Fatima, the same question to you, just the experience of going through this. What came forward from your side?
First, I somehow landed on YouTube one evening, and it was day 3, and you were with Kathy Wood and ARK Investments or something, and I was just, oh my God. And so coming on board with this program was a no-brainer. And I think what it does is that it provides this context of being right time and right place. So beginning with the 5.0 pyramid and the alignment of your consciousness with money, with empowerment, with investment, that can then all contribute to co-creating this new reality that so many of us want. And being able to do that in community, I mean, it's blown my mind. And so being able to plug in the numbers into the spreadsheet, listening to Marcus and Dennis and how to really look at cryptocurrencies. It's been fantastic, and I've loved it.
Very good. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. And again, these are really, really great, seeing the slides and just seeing how it's all come together. We have Sheila as the next person. So if you'd like to connect with Fatima, you can do that. We'll drop the link in the chat. Same with Sheila as well. And again, very different from LinkedIn, because LinkedIn does not tell you what someone's top purpose is or what their passions are or what's their genius and what their learning history is. So, and you can see from here, you can actually link to Twitter or link to LinkedIn. Like you can post them all so someone can find you very easily. And all of your social media, like you can, link with Cliff by just clicking on his Facebook here, and it'll take you straight to his Facebook page and so on. So like, it's very, very easy for you to actually have a base to get everyone's genius. Let's come over to Sheila. And Sheila, same question for you. What's been your personal experience going through this?
It's been very transformative for me. I've been sort of looking at my investments and learning about investments for probably the past 10 years even, but this really opened my way to a different way of looking at things. And particularly the pyramid that Mark shared was, I mean, that was just sort of mind blowing, because whereas in the past, I've always looked at, things are just different asset classes, and that's where they are on my version of the pyramid. But looking at it in terms of what their function is on the pyramid, which is why I've now sort of split my crypto portfolio to some of it being the base of the pyramid, Ethereum and the Bitcoin, and some of it being the ICOs, which is right at the top. And so that really helped me redesign things and improved my results from predicting on a 8% gain to get to our goal in 11 years to get that down to 5 years.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. And congrats to all of you. And here's what we're going to do right now. We are going to basically announce live who the winner is. And then you can post your congratulations into the comments as well. So we'll do a bit of a drum roll. The winner of the Investor 5.0 Summit and Micro School is going to be Fatima. Congratulations, Fatima.
Oh my God!
And I just want to share, because like all of you, and not just the 3 of you, but we had so many entries, but while everyone out there has had like incredible entries in what they posted, one of the biggest reasons we said, like, we're actually going to be measuring it based on what's most compelling, what's most credible, and also, what is most challenging, right? That opens up for others as well. And while all of them were great, there were some extra pieces that were actually in Fatima's one where it was so clear. You can even see in the way she did the design, everything, that everything she was doing was to help the environment. She set up the Shambhala Trust, which was going to then be supporting it separate from her own personal investments as well. And then how that then linked directly into, in more specifics, the way that she was understanding the different elements. Some of you will remember, we went through this with Marcus, where she was really kind of like clear on which was 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 on this side here, and then how that then fit into, even on the property side, properties which were directly linked to your entire focus at ancestral smart cities in ancient wisdom, just absolutely fantastic. And this is close to my heart, obviously, with all the resorts that we're opening all over the world as well. So big congrats to you, Fatima. Wow. Do you have any final words here?
Just thank you so much. This is just so right time, right place. Your content, your team, the mentors, the community is absolutely electrifying. So all I can say is more power to you and to everything that we're doing, and let's just do it. Create this new future. Exciting.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Congrats again to you.
Very
and also
generous.
Thanks very much. Congrats also to Cliff, to Sheila, and everyone else that was part of it. All right. See you guys later.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.